know if they're...
Hey, Lashu, response video. I'm gonna do this in English. I do my response videos in English. I already have a response. Before I even finish watching the video, I get in that habit. I will comment or respond to a video before I even finish watching it. But yeah, you're already just at the end in the video. So I have to say, as far as being in love with the languages, I am in love with Japanese and English, but that's because it's my first language, and Orson Scott Card even kind of said it with Star Wars Congress as common is the common language of the future. Pretty much is going to be English, like more phonetically spelled or something. I don't know. In his books, it's fiction, but you know, I think it's a pretty decent prediction of the future with all the, you know, the Hive Queen and Jane and all that. I'm not going to get into spoilers. I'll let you read the book. The books. Ender's Game. Back to your response. I don't see it as getting in the way. I see it as you got to find a passion in life. And yeah, especially with, I mean, there's many things to do in life. We all have our, but, you know, the thing is that no matter what you do in life, language will always be used. I mean, some people choose music, that's a language. Some people use math, which is a universal language. The two universal languages are music and math. Although there's, the thing about music and math, though, is that you can use different languages to explain them. And if you explain them in different languages, your brain thinks differently, and then you'll make different music, or you'll come up with different math equations for, like, the economy. Math is important. Don't ever think it's not. It's just, nothing is ever so important that you need to devote 24 hours of your time to it. Now, what do I mean by this? I don't mean that you shouldn't do it, because I devote all day to language learning, and all night when I'm dreaming, but it shouldn't get in the way of really things that have always been important to you, but you think that, like, oh, you have to do this because it'll make you money. You know, if you always do that, then you'll always be stuck in this cycle of I have to do this, I have to do this, and I can't do these. I mean, there's a path. No matter what, no matter how hard the path is, you have to be ready for that path. By the way, if you choose what you want in life, there's going to be a path there, and it may be simple, or it may be difficult, or it may be constantly changing, or there may be even no visible path at all, but there's a way to get there, and you just gotta do what you gotta do what you gotta do, and you gotta do what you love doing. Otherwise, and you can't have the mindset of okay, I love it. I've loved doing this so much. I'm going to do nothing but this. I mean, you can integrate anything into your life. I mean, language is so universal that you can pretty much do anything, and it's considered language practice. If you think in the language, then it's language practice, because it's not like if you only listen to 5 minutes of someone talking in a language, that it'll just like, okay, I did it for 5 minutes and then I stopped. I mean, the rest of the day, you have that running through your brain, even if you're not actually thinking about it. You'll subconsciously think about it, and it'll just keep running. And as soon as you realize that, then you can actually start consciously doing this, and you can make it go in such a way that it'll just run over. From the last time you're like, say you wake up and you start, you know, you look at a bunch of verb forms or something, or you look at a bunch of, well, you get a vocabulary list, which is I've been neglecting, but I started SRSing again with Anki. It means memory, Anki. But it's pretty much just like you gotta get. I think I saw a good example of it in, if you see the Fifth Element. With what's her name and what's his name? What is it? It was the Resident Evil girl, Jonovich or something, and Bruce Willis, of course. We all know Bruce Willis. But anyway, Mila Jovovich, I think. Anyway, with Fifth Element, they revived her, and then. After all that stuff happened, and Bruce Willis and the crazy priest guy they got her, she like pretty much just had a crash course and stuff. She was just watching a screen, and it just showed a bunch of images going by, and like she was just like sitting there absorbing it. Well, I mean, she was like in the storyline, she was the perfect being, so she could absorb everything really fast. But you get the point. I mean, if you do anything throughout the day, it'll resonate throughout the whole day. If you wake up in a bad mood, you'll probably be in a bad mood for the rest of the day. But either way, you got to tune yourself to that. And you know, if you don't make an effort to make positive changes, then it won't go there. I mean, no matter how small an effort is, it'll get things started. I mean, it's so easy to get lost in this like what the ideal success is. I mean, I grew up my whole life with people telling me that well, people always telling me I'm smarter than most people and all that. And I grew up with this weird, and for a while I had this weird ego where I was just like, I thought I was smarter than everybody, and then I realized I'm actually slower than most people, and it's taken me a long time to get, you know, integrated into life. And you know, I was homeless for a year and all that, and it's just, you know, like nobody's perfect. I mean, you got to get over yourself. I mean, really, you just got to do what you like doing in life, and if somebody says that it's not successful, you got to realize that they come up from, I mean, an individual person is so complicated that it's so hard to understand yourself, so it's even harder to understand someone else. So, I mean, when somebody says something, they could be coming from somewhere completely different. So it's not that they're wrong or that they're right. It's just that they say something from a different point of view. So you have to take that information and internalize it. You have to make it yours. And that's what I've kind of been talking about in my other video. I said you got to make the language yours. If you don't make it yours, then you won't be able to use it. And so if it's not personal to you and it makes sense to you, I mean, if you're just walking around like going like, oh, I got to do this, I gotta get a degree so I can get a job in fiber optics or something, like you know, if it's okay if you want to do that. If your whole life you've been like, I'm fascinated with wires and rewire, and maybe I want to work on the space station and rewire things, and like, you know, I'm really excited about fiber optics. Looks like a really good, really exciting technology. Then go for it. I mean, like. But I mean, if you're doing it just because your dad or your brother or somebody said, or your mom or someone said, like, oh, fiber optics is a good career, it'll make you lots of money, and then you do it just to please them, then you're not really. I mean, what's the point? I mean, you're just going through the motions. I mean, I picked, you know, language and communications and talking with people. Like, that's what I want to do. I spent my whole life as a hermit. And, like, you know, playing video games and reading books, and now I'm finding out that I'm not that isolated person. I like to go out and talk to people. I like to meet people. I like to go through, like, listen to people's, not even like solve people's problems. I mean, nobody's perfect. Like I said, I don't think I'm this, like, you know, this solver of problems, but like I'd at least, like, I'd like to listen to people go through things and get through there, and, you know, like, maybe not being a counselor. I don't think I'd be able to qualify as a counselor, but at least, you know, help people who don't speak a certain language, like help them fill out forms or do all the, you know, just give them support, you know, just being there. I mean, that's why I want to get into interpreting and translating and all that stuff. I mean, you gotta make money somehow. And I have a lifestyle that requires me to put money away in a savings account and all that. You know, I live quite modestly, but I have plans. You know, and also I like to have rainy day money. You know, so, you know, I see it as putting money in the bank with language learning. I mean, with me it's Japanese. I really love Japanese. And I think that more people should be aware of the Japanese presence on the planet. I mean, they're so polite. But I mean, like, they like they have all these opinions about, you know, all the other countries and stuff, but their culture, it's such a phenomenon. I can never understand it because I'm from the outside, and like, I mean, I don't even understand my own country. I mean, like I said, you know, you can't. A single person is so complicated. You can't even understand yourself. How are you supposed to understand someone else? Well, take that and apply it to a country. That's a whole group of people. You know, like I can't even understand my own country. How am I supposed to understand Japan? Like, but I mean, from what I see is like, you know, they have all these opinions, but they respect other people enough not to throw it in their faces. I think that's what makes Japan and America very different. We're very open. We'll say what we want to say. You know, and you know, sometimes we don't even mean it, but we'll say it anyway. Like, we'll just say it just for effect, and it's like, I think that's just so funny. Is like, other countries will see this, and like, from my point of view, I'll see them saying that, but maybe they see it from a completely other point of view. So you see how it's so impossible to even understand. There goes the battery. Whoa, I need to get a rechargeable battery thing, because my videos are, this is a super low quality camera. I have to set it on low setting, or it will, I have to set it on super low setting, or it won't let me do videos long enough. But I don't know, I'll get more money, I'll get a better camera, and I'll have better content for the videos, and I'll keep at it, and eventually it'll get me through life. I'll at least know that I did what I wanted to do, and what I came here to do, and not wasted time trying to please others, and not even trying to please myself, just trying to survive. I mean, we're all just trying to survive, and, you know, some of us like speaking a couple languages, some of us like speaking 50 languages, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Anyway, see you, Lashu. Sorry about the long video in response to your short video, and I didn't even watch the whole video, but I got the gist of the video in the first minute. Anyway, see you later, my subscribers. If you feel free to comment, feel free to watch my other videos, feel free to subscribe, and have a good day.